In this video, let's talk about brush care, what to do with them and what to not do with them. I'm Alex and you're watching Winter Wolf Miniatures. Welcome back to another video. It's gonna be a short and quick one, and as you understand, it's gonna be about brushes. Paintbrushes is something that is essential to our hobby, and there is already a lot of videos about them here on YouTube. Most of them, however, seem to be about if you should buy this one or that one, but in reality it matters little. Get the one you like and prefer, but learn to use it properly, and also take care of it the right way. A good brush can be pricey, but not if you take care of it properly. The amount of painting you can do with a good quality brush if you keep it happy is astonishing. In an earlier video I talked about having different brushes for different things. I call them fancy brushes and crappy brushes, so let's continue with that. And of course it's the fancy brushes that this video is about. How to take care of your fancy brushes so they stay fancy and not become crappy. Quick tip, pun not intended, when choosing your brush it's often good to go bigger. Often when we start out mini painting we tend to buy the smallest brushes we can find, thinking that we have to use them because we are painting tiny things. As long as the tip is good, bigger is better. For new painters I always recommend a Kolinsky Sable, size 2 or maybe 3. No matter how many fancy brushes we have, we want to take care of them the right way. So here is 10 things you should not do with your fancy brushes, in no particular order. Number 1, no glue. You should never ever go near glue that is not fully cured with your fancy brush. Seems obvious, right? But I know, we all been there. Something breaks during painting and we repair it with super glue. That cures fast, right? And we want to get back to the painting and we think, it should be cured by now. No, don't do it. Wait longer. Also, applying PVA glue. No, use a crappy brush for that. Number 2, dip too much. See this part here? This is where the paint goes. No further. If you get paint here, it will be harder to rinse out. And if it dries there, your brush will lose its shape. Number 3, letting paint dry in your brush. No, just don't. Keep it moist at all times and rinse it often while painting. Number 4, don't store it standing up. Back to the don't dip too much thing. Even if you rinse your brush, it's not certain that it's 100% free of paint. And if you store it standing up, guess where that paint's gonna go? Yeah, gravity. Store it lying down until it's dry. Number 5, don't mix paint unnecessarily with your fancy brush. You will of course mix paint with your brush on your palette, but maybe don't use your fancy brush for that initial step. Number 6, no thick paint. If you're painting armies quickly, it's nice sometimes to use a bit thicker paint for your base coats. The trade-off in quality of your paint job for speed absolutely makes sense in some cases. But maybe don't use your fancy brush for that. You often don't need that much precision, so maybe use a crappy brush for that. Or a good crappy brush, if you have one. Number 7, no dry brushing. If you didn't get that from the not letting paint dry in your brush bit, it's also probably not a good idea to bash your brush around like that, if you want to keep it happy. Number 8, don't bend the bristles. Don't store it upside down. I know, obvious, again, but sometimes it's easy to just put it in the water container upside down, thinking you'll get back to it in a few seconds and then forgetting about it. So just don't. Never put it on its bristles. Ever. Number 9, no texture paint. It's paint, in best cases, some kind of sludge with sand in it or something else. You don't want that in your brush. You don't want that in your fancy brush. Use a crappy one for that. Come to think of it, nothing that isn't regular thin acrylic paint should ever be in your fancy brush. There. Number 10. Crap, I've run out of things. Number 9 really took care of that real nicely. Have to come up with something. It's supposed to be 10 things, right? Number 10. Don't use your brush as toothbrush. No, toothpaste is something that is not paint. Cleaning your hi-fi equipment. Yeah, let's go with that. Number 10. Don't use your fancy brush to clean your hi-fi equipment. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So rinse it often while painting, and try to use it with only thin, regular paint. It's what you want to do with your fancy brush. But let's talk about how to clean them properly. I use this. It's brush soap. This one can be used for both synthetic and natural hair brushes. I don't think the conditioning is doing much for the synthetic, but it's good at getting rid of old paint. Get at least your fancy brushes a good cleaning once in a while with a good conditioner. What you do with your crappy brushes I don't care about, and you shouldn't either. So therefore, buy the cheapest one you can find. If you take good care of your brush, it will save you money, because you don't have to buy new ones as often. They will wear out in the end though, and when they do, they become good crappy brushes, until they become just crappy brushes, and then they become really fancy stirring sticks. I do a lot of painting, and my last Raphael 8404 size 2, which is the brush I use the most, lasted nearly a year. Now, where was I? Yeah, right, saving money. More importantly, keeping your brush happy will keep you happy. I spent a lot of time painting with bad brushes when I was younger, and it's so much more fun when your equipment is not working against you. That's about it, I think. I have probably forgotten something obvious. If I have, please make sure to put that in the comments, because I will probably not realize it immediately while uploading the video. To summarize, it doesn't matter much what kind of brush or what make of brush you get. Pick one you like and the one you feel comfy with, but please take good care of it. And remember to practice that brush technique. See you soon.